up, all my fight fans? So we got UFC 280 round the corner, guys. We are almost there. We are now, how would I say, what's today? Today is Tuesday. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and yes, here it comes on Saturday. We got Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira. Now, what I want to ask you guys is this. How is Islam going to be able to handle Charles Oliveira? Well, that's a good question, guys. A very good question, because all things considered, Charles Oliveira is by far the best opponent he has ever faced. Let's just say what it is. Say what it is right now. That is by far the number one opponent that he's ever faced. Because at the end of the day, his roster, his long list of opponents hasn't been the elite of the elite. They've been decent names like Dan Hooker and Bobby Green and all these other opponents on there. He did lose back in 2015, but since then he has fought decent opponents. He's not fought the greatest. He's not fought the best. He's not even fought top 5. He's fought some decent level opponents. So right now he is going from literally almost, I want to say ranked 9, 10, possibly, maybe even 11, to now number 1. Not even number 1, the champion. Because let's face facts, guys, he is not number 1. He is the champion. Charles Oliveira is the champion. So how is he going to do? That's a good question, guys. That's a good question. Because you can't just go based on the fact that his opponents, Islam Makhachev's opponents, like he hasn't fought a whole lot of opponents. You can't go based on that. You got to go based on the simple fact that we do not know how he would do. Because maybe if Islam went in there against somebody like a Michael Chandler, like a Dustin Poirier, like a Justin Gaethje, like some of the, even a Rafael dos Anjos, a Benil Dariush, maybe he would have done really, really good. Maybe he would have stopped these guys. Maybe he would have submitted them. Who knows? Maybe he would have surprised us and knocked them out. But we don't know. We don't know because he wasn't in there. And that's not his fault, guys. That is really not his fault. So with that being said, I do strongly feel he's going to be able to hold his own. I do strongly feel that he is going to be grade A wrestler, top notch, because look at who he's training with. He's training with Khabib Nurmagomedov, the best pound for pound, number 1 lightweight possibly of all time. Argument. Very, very big argument. Possibly even the GOAT in some people's arguments. So with that being said, you guys always got to consider the fact that that maybe because he has not been in there with all these guys, that maybe he has not taken that much damage like he possibly would have. So maybe he is going to be the fresher fighter going in there with Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira went through wars. We remember that war he had with Dustin Poirier. We remember that war with Justin Gaethje, that war he had with Michael Chandler. He is not afraid to take damage. And Charles Oliveira is not some spring chicken either. He is still relatively a little bit older than Islam. So can he handle Charles Oliveira? Absolutely, because Charles Oliveira is not somebody that is going to just steamroll over you. He's not going to come after you and just blitz you like a Vitor Belfort would, or even a Michael Chandler would just constantly come at you and just blast you. He's not somebody like Khabib who's going to just straight up go for that ground and pound, go for that takedown, and just try to smash you like he would. He's a very calm and collective opponent. Don't get me wrong. He is still extremely dangerous, very, very dangerous. But at the same time, he still can mix things up, unlike any other opponents. And he is very dangerous with his hands. I think that's what a lot of people underestimated with Charles Oliveira's hands. But can Islam handle Charles Oliveira? I do strongly feel like he could, because he is just as strong. He may not be just as experienced, but he is just as strong. His wrestling game is phenomenal. And all things considered, I do still feel like he could possibly hold a good chin. I don't know because it's not been tested, but I do feel like he could handle, and he might have some hands. He might surprise us just a little bit. So will Islam be able to handle Charles Oliveira? I'm not saying he's going to win, but will he be able to handle that kind of elite of opponent? I do strongly feel he could. So I would like to know what you guys think. Can he handle? Can he hang in there with Charles Oliveira, or is it maybe too much too soon for him? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.